come here today and say, we're not going to stop living, we're not going to stop loving. We're going to see what we can do to bring people as close to one another as possible. All of our traditions teach us that the world began with one, from the one came many. Maybe we have to teach the world. There comes a time, such as this one, thank you to Rav Avi was. Called me immediately and said, we have to do something. We have to stand together. So thank you, Rabbi, for my We stand before the French Consulate office and building. And in the words of the prophet, Al Eile Ani Bochia, we cry about the following. We cry about people who are murdered only because they were who they were. Al Eile Ani Bochia. So we mourn Aryeh, Gavriel, Rabbi Jonathan. We mourn Miriam. We mourn the French soldiers whose lives were so brutally taken. Imad, Abel, and Muhammad. Let's pause for a moment to allow for those tears, allow for the lamentation of Al Eile Ani Bochia. We cry for their souls. And in the same breath, we gather here to also remember. Yesterday, Jews were murdered because they were Jews. The day before, Muslims were murdered. People of dark skin from North Africa were murdered because they were different. And so together we remember the words of Rabbi Kook, who once said, what unites us is so much greater than what divides us. This is a world where too many people murder. They murder for the sake of murder. And let it be said very clearly, any human being who is murdered only because of who or he or she is means that every human being has been murdered because of what he or she is. And we also stand in front of this building because while we're very appreciative of all of that which the French government has done in trying to apprehend the murderer or murderers, we are telling the French government that the world is watching. 20 years ago, this past Saturday, the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires was attacked. Those murderers were never found. And when you don't apprehend terrorists, that sends a message to other terrorists that they can murder with impunity. And so respectfully, we tell the French government, we're watching. The world is watching. And we gather to speak to ourselves. After the first murder in this world, God himself said, Kol demei achicha tzoakim elai min ha'adama. The voice of your brother's bloods cry out to me from the ground. And Cain then rose and asked the first human question ever asked by a human being in the Bible. Cain rose and he said, Hashomer achi anochi. Am I my brother's keeper? And interestingly, that question was given no answer in the Bible, because the answer to that question is the whole Bible. Nay, the answer to that question is the way we live our lives, the way we conduct ourselves. And so at this very moment, open your hearts and join me. At this very moment when we hear the voices of our brothers' bloods and sisters crying out from the ground, at this moment when we hear the question, are we our brothers and sisters keepers? Together let us, let our community, let all of New York, let the whole world respond in clear terms. Yes, we are our brothers' keepers. Yes, we are our sisters' keepers. Al eile ani bochia. We cry about their loss of their souls.
We have Abraham Toulouse from the Turkish Federation, who is a proud Muslim, a great friend of our community. I think it's a lesson for all of us that